I want to share something deeply personal with all of you today, something that has been quietly shaping my life in ways that most people don't see. Life is often about the unexpected moments, the breakthroughs, the challenges, the nights spent dreaming about possibilities no one else can yet imagine. But amid all the projects, the rockets, the innovations, and the relentless pursuit of what might seem impossible, there's something profoundly simple that reminds us why we do what we do: human connection. It's the realization that no matter how far we reach into the stars, it's the people we care about here on Earth who give our journey meaning. And so, I'm thrilled to confirm that I am taking one of life's most significant steps. I am getting married. For those of you following along, you've seen bits and pieces of my life in the headlines, glimpses of the chaos, the successes, and the occasional missteps. But this is a step that transcends all of that. It's not about achievement or innovation, not about ventures or breakthroughs, but about partnership, trust, and the decision to share your life completely with someone who inspires you to be your best self every day. The date has been set, a moment carefully chosen, a day that will mark the start of a new chapter. And the place, well, the place is equally special, selected not for grandeur or spectacle, but for the sense of wonder and intimacy. It evokes a space that reflects the journey of two people who have decided to navigate the unpredictable currents of life together. In choosing it, I wanted something that would feel timeless, something that would honor both tradition and our own sense of adventure. It's a location that carries meaning, a backdrop for vows that are as much about shared values as they are about love. I imagine some of you wondering, how does one balance the intensity of a life dedicated to changing the world with the simplicity of committing to another person? The truth is, you can't. Not perfectly, at least. Life is messy, it's complicated, and it's full of moments that test your patience and courage. But that's precisely why marriage, or any deep, enduring partnership, is so extraordinary. It's not a pause in the journey, it's a companion for it. Someone who reminds you, even when the pressure of responsibilities and expectations feels unbearable, that joy can be found in the quiet moments, the shared smiles, the small acts of kindness and understanding that build a lifetime together. This announcement is not just a personal milestone, it's a testament to the fact that no matter how vast our ambitions, the connections we forge are what ultimately define us. The people we choose to surround ourselves with, the bonds we nurture, and the trust we cultivate are the elements that bring our most audacious dreams into balance. They are the anchors that keep us grounded, the wings that allow us to fly higher, and the mirrors that reflect not only who we are, but who we aspire to be. So, as I share this with you today, I hope it serves as a reminder that even amidst the chaos of work, the thrill of innovation, and the pursuit of the seemingly impossible, it is love, partnership, and commitment that truly shape our legacy. There is an unparalleled courage in opening your heart fully, in trusting another human being to walk beside you through life's uncertainties and triumphs alike. And for me, this is the most thrilling adventure of all, one that doesn't require a spaceship, a laboratory, or a boardroom, just two people willing to leap forward together with faith, excitement, and unwavering support. Today, I stand on the edge of that adventure, ready to take that leap, and I couldn't be more exhilarated by what lies ahead. Because, while we may look to the stars for inspiration, the greatest discoveries often happen in the spaces we share with those we love, in the hearts that beat alongside ours, and in the promise of a journey walked hand in hand. And so, with a sense of profound gratitude, boundless anticipation, and a heart full of hope, I step into this new chapter, knowing that the best is yet to come. When news of this upcoming marriage began to circulate, the reactions were immediate, intense, and, in many ways, deeply humbling. In a world where information travels faster than the speed of thought, I've seen the way headlines, tweets, and posts can shape perceptions almost instantly. People are curious, they want to know, they want to celebrate, they want to dissect every detail, every nuance, every possible implication, and I get it. Life under the spotlight comes with that reality. But what has struck me most isn't the scrutiny, it's the genuine outpouring of goodwill, the moments of shared joy from people all around the world who are willing to connect with someone they've never met over something as profoundly human as love. The media, as expected, has taken notice. Journalists have explored every angle imaginable, from the playful speculation about what the ceremony might look like, to the deeper reflections on what it means for someone balancing a life dedicated to work and innovation with a commitment to personal relationships. Headlines have ranged from the celebratory to the analytical, and in every case, there's been a recognition that marriage is more than a private event. It's a statement about the value of connection, the importance of partnership, and the courage it takes to trust another person with your life and your heart. I've been fascinated to see the dialogue unfold across social media, where people from every walk of life have shared their thoughts, their excitement, their encouragement, and sometimes even their humor. Memes appear almost instantly, playful theories emerge, and the world participates in a collective moment of curiosity and celebration. It's a reminder that in our era, news longer travels, it ripples, it spreads, it becomes a shared experience. And in that shared experience, there's an unexpected beauty. There's a sense that when something meaningful happens in one corner of the world, it can inspire reflection, conversation, and even connection in places we may never see. I've also noticed that this response speaks to something larger than the event itself. It highlights how people are hungry for stories that remind them of hope, joy, and possibility. In a time when the news often focuses on uncertainty, conflict, and challenges, a personal milestone like this resonates because it's inherently human. It reminds people that even in lives that may seem larger than life, there are moments of vulnerability, of courage, and of tenderness. There's a universal truth in committing to another person, in declaring love publicly, and in stepping forward into the unknown with faith and optimism. That's a story everyone can relate to. Beyond the curiosity and celebration, there's been an incredible sense of support from friends, colleagues, and even people I've never met personally but who have followed the journey from afar. It's humbling to see how deeply the act of announcing a commitment to love and partnership resonates with others. It reinforces the idea that human connection, whether through family, friendship, or shared admiration, has a power that transcends titles, achievements, or fame. It's a reminder that no matter how ambitious our pursuits, the bonds we cultivate, the relationships we cherish, and the joy we share with those we care about remain at the core of what makes life meaningful. And yet, amid the excitement, the coverage, and the commentary, there's a quiet lesson. Even in the glare of public attention, the heart recognizes what truly matters. Public reactions can be loud, persistent, and even overwhelming at times, but the private moments, the smiles, the quiet conversations, the shared dreams are what give those reactions depth and context. They transform an announcement from a headline into a story of human courage, of commitment, and of joy. So, as I reflect on the waves of reactions, both online and offline, I am filled with gratitude. Gratitude not for the attention itself, but for the reminder that connection, encouragement, and celebration can extend beyond the walls of our own lives. When people care, when they cheer, when they share in someone else's happiness, it amplifies the significance of that happiness. It is a testament to the extraordinary power of community, empathy, and shared humanity. And in that sense, the most inspiring response of all is the recognition that love, in any form, has the ability to unite, to inspire, and to remind us that even amidst life's challenges, there are moments worth celebrating, moments that shine, moments that endure. It is in these reactions, these echoes of joy and curiosity, that one can truly feel the magnitude of what it means to step into a new chapter of life with someone who matters more than anything else. That, above all, is the resonance that will stay with me forever. As I reflect on this moment, I can't help but think about the path that led here, the winding journey through life that shapes who we are, what we value, and the people we choose to walk beside. My life has been anything but ordinary. It has been full of intensity, full of passion, full of challenges that often seem larger than life itself. And like many people, it has also been full of relationships that have taught me lessons I could not have learned any other way. Each one, whether brief or enduring, has left an imprint, a mark that has shaped the way I approach connection, trust, and love. It's easy, when the world sees you in headlines and numbers, to forget that beneath all of that there is a human being, navigating the same emotions, the same hopes, and the same fears as anyone else. There have been moments of triumph and moments of failure, moments of clarity and moments of doubt. And throughout it all, the relationships I've cultivated have been a mirror to my own growth. They have reminded me that success in business or in ambition is only part of life's equation. Equally, if not more, important are the people who stand by you, who challenge you, who encourage you to see beyond the horizon while keeping your feet firmly on the ground. In thinking about the relationships that have brought me to this point, I see a pattern that is surprisingly simple. It's about trust, communication, and shared vision. Not just the vision of a career or a goal, but the vision of life together, of building something that transcends individual ambition. Every connection, every bond has carried a lesson about patience, about empathy, and about the willingness to meet someone else in their full humanity. Some lessons were learned through joy and laughter. Others were learned through struggle and heartbreak. But each one has led to a deeper understanding of what it means to truly commit to another person. Marriage, I've come to realize, is not a destination, it's an ongoing dialogue, a continuous process of discovery, support, and shared growth. It's about finding someone whose presence challenges you to be better, whose voice soothes you when the noise of the world grows too loud, whose values align with yours, even as your perspectives may differ. It's about celebrating achievements together, facing setbacks together, and embracing the uncertainty of life, not as a burden, but as an adventure to share. And in that context, this step feels less like a single event, and more like a continuation of a journey that has been unfolding over years, guided by experience, reflection, and the heart. Of course, personal life has always been entwined with public perception. People see snippets, headlines, photos, and interviews, and they form opinions based on fragments. It can be easy to forget that the most meaningful parts of life happen away from the spotlight. There is an intimacy in shared quiet, a depth in small gestures, a richness in trust that cannot be captured by a camera or conveyed in a tweet. It is in these private moments, often unseen and unremarked upon, that love truly flourishes and resilience is built. They are the moments that prepare you for the commitments that matter most, for the promises that define a lifetime. I also recognize that relationships shape our capacity to contribute to the world. The lessons of empathy, patience, and understanding that come from personal connection inform how we approach challenges, how we lead, and how we innovate. They are the foundation upon which everything else is built, often invisible, but absolutely essential. Without that grounding, ambition risks becoming hollow. With it, even the loftiest dreams are anchored in humanity. So as I stand here today, reflecting on the journey that has brought me to this new chapter, I see it not just as a personal milestone, but as a testament to the importance of nurturing the relationships that shape us. The experiences of the past, full of love, loss, learning, and growth, have led to a moment of clarity and purpose. They have prepared me to embrace this next step with humility, gratitude, and unwavering commitment. At the end of the day, life is measured not by the accolades or the headlines, but by the bonds we cultivate and the hearts we touch along the way. And in choosing to take this step, I am reminded that the truest victories are the ones we share with the people who matter most, the moments that build connection, and the relationships that endure long after the spotlight fades. When people think about lives that exist in the public eye, it's easy to imagine a sharp divide between the personal and the professional, as if one could exist completely separate from the other. But the truth is, they are profoundly intertwined. The world sees the achievements, the companies, the rockets, and the innovations, and those successes are often associated with a name, a face, a persona. And while that visibility can bring opportunities, it also carries responsibility. Every choice, every announcement, every personal milestone is amplified in ways that those outside the spotlight rarely experience. It's a reminder that the personal is never truly private when your work touches millions of lives. This is especially true when it comes to something as deeply human as love and commitment. A marriage in the life of someone visible to the world is inevitably more than just a personal event. It becomes a story that people want to connect with, analyze, and, in some cases, learn from. There's a delicate balance between allowing life to unfold authentically and being aware of the broader impact that your choices may have. In this moment, I am mindful of both. I recognize that this personal step resonates beyond the private sphere, and I embrace that responsibility with honesty and intention. From a business perspective, people often ask whether personal milestones affect professional focus, leadership, or innovation. The reality is that they are not mutually exclusive. They reinforce one another. Strong, meaningful relationships cultivate perspective, resilience, and empathy. They provide a foundation that allows for clearer decision-making, more intentional action, and a greater capacity for creativity. When your personal life is rooted in stability and trust, it creates the space to take bold risks, to imagine possibilities that might have seemed unreachable, and to pursue them with confidence. In many ways, a fulfilled personal life becomes the invisible scaffolding that supports professional ambition. Of course, there's also the public perception to consider. Visibility in both professional and personal realms shapes how people experience a story. Every headline or post has the potential to inspire or to distract, and that duality is something anyone with a public platform must navigate carefully. It's tempting to let speculation and scrutiny create pressure, but ultimately, the goal is to remain grounded in authenticity. People are drawn not only to achievements or fame, but to the human narrative, the challenges, the lessons, and the choices that reflect genuine values. A marriage, a commitment, a decision to share your life with someone you deeply care about communicates something vital about priorities, perspective, and what it means to live a life aligned with purpose. At the same time, these personal milestones offer an opportunity to redefine what leadership looks like. Success is often measured by impact, innovation, or influence, but it's equally measured by how we navigate life's intangible, deeply human elements. Relationships, love, and commitment are forms of leadership in their own right. They teach patience, humility, and the capacity to listen and respond thoughtfully. They reinforce the idea that the greatest achievements are not just those we accomplish for ourselves, but those we build in partnership with others, for the benefit of communities, teams, and society at large. It's also a moment to reflect on how society perceives and responds to people who occupy dual roles, public figure and private individual. There's an inherent fascination with the intersection of ambition and intimacy, with someone who is capable of transforming industries, yet is also vulnerable to the same joys and uncertainties that everyone experiences. That intersection reminds us that humanity exists at all levels. It reminds us that no matter how visible or influential a life may appear, it is defined not solely by accomplishments, but by relationships, integrity, and the courage to embrace connection wholeheartedly. Ultimately, a personal step like this resonates because it humanizes the narrative, bringing it back to what truly matters: the choices we make about who we share our lives with, how we invest our time and energy, and the way we build meaning beyond the metrics of success. Personal life and professional life are not competing priorities. They are intertwined threads of the same tapestry. When one is nurtured with care, it strengthens the other. And when shared authentically, it has the power to inspire, to challenge assumptions, and to remind others that life's most meaningful impact often begins at home, in the hearts and relationships we cultivate. So, as this new chapter begins, it is with the awareness that the personal shapes the professional, that love and partnership are not separate from ambition, but essential to it, and that the truest measure of success is the depth of connection and purpose we bring to every aspect of life. And with that understanding, every step forward feels not only possible, but profoundly meaningful. As this new chapter approaches, there's an undeniable excitement in the air, not just for what the day itself will hold, but for the journey leading up to it. While I prefer to keep many details close to the heart, there are glimpses I can share because anticipation, after all, is a part of the human experience, a way to involve others in our joy without diminishing its intimacy. Planning a celebration like this is about more than logistics or spectacle. It's about creating a space that feels meaningful, personal, and reflective of the values that have guided this journey so far. Every choice, from the setting to the timing, carries intention. The date itself was chosen with care, not simply as a mark on a calendar, but as a moment that aligns with rhythm, with reflection, and with the natural flow of life. There's a certain poetry in selecting a day that feels right, on multiple levels a day, that honors the past, embraces the present, and opens the door to the future. Timing, after all, is rarely accidental. In many ways, it's a subtle reminder that life is as much about patience and preparation as it is about action and ambition. Choosing the right moment allows something as significant as a lifelong commitment to be celebrated fully, without distraction, with clarity and intention. The location, too, was chosen not for grandeur or trendiness, but for resonance. It's a place that carries meaning, evokes wonder, and provides the perfect backdrop for a gathering of hearts and minds. When envisioning where the step would take place, the goal was always to find a setting that could honor the intimate human nature of the commitment, while offering a sense of openness and possibility. A place where shared memories can be created, where laughter and conversation can flow naturally, and where every detail, no matter how small, contributes to an experience that is both personal and unforgettable. Of course, speculation is inevitable. People are curious by nature, and curiosity about events like this is amplified in the digital age. There will be guesses about everything from the decor and attire to the guest list and the style of the ceremony. But speculation, as interesting as it may be, is secondary to the essence of the day. What truly matters is not what others imagine, but the authenticity of the moment itself, the exchange of promises, the feeling of connection, and the celebration of a shared future. The smallest details, often unnoticed by the outside world, are the ones that carry the deepest meaning. They are the subtle threads that weave together a lifetime of memory. In imagining the event, I find myself thinking less about appearances and more about energy, about how the space will feel, about the sense of warmth and welcome, and about the collective joy that surrounds two people choosing to walk forward together. Every ceremony has its own rhythm, its own cadence, and its own emotional landscape. When it is approached with intention and care, it becomes more than an event. It becomes a milestone, a point of reference in the story of a life lived intentionally, deeply, and in partnership. It's a moment that, when remembered, will feel timeless. Even amidst public curiosity and media attention, there is a quiet magic in imagining how the day will unfold. There's the laughter that bubbles unexpectedly, the conversations that linger, the simple yet profound gestures that speak louder than words. These are the moments that are never captured fully in photos or headlines, yet they define the experience completely. They are the essence of what makes any celebration meaningful, the connection between people, the shared recognition of love, and the promise of a journey taken together. In thinking about all of this, the date, the place, the anticipation, and the subtle energy that will define the day, I am reminded that life is made up of these meaningful markers. They give shape to our existence, grounding our ambitions, reminding us of what truly matters, and giving others a chance to share in moments of joy that extend beyond their own lives. The celebration itself is just a reflection of a much larger truth, that love, intention, and connection are what transform ordinary days into milestones, what transform plans into memories, and what transform two individuals into a partnership capable of facing the unknown together. And so, with the date approaching and the anticipation building, there is a sense of quiet awe at what lies ahead, a recognition that the details, the speculation, and the planning are all part of a greater story, a story defined not by appearances but by meaning, connection, and the courage to embrace a shared future with hope and intention. In that, the significance of the moment shines brighter than any headline ever could. As this moment draws near, I find myself reflecting not only on the personal meaning of what is happening, but also on its broader significance. When people think about public figures, they often imagine a life separate from society's rhythms, removed from the ordinary milestones that shape human experience. But events like this remind us that, at the core, we are all connected by the same desires, the same emotions, and the same need for companionship, understanding, and love. A marriage in its most fundamental form is not just a private promise between two people. It is a reflection of values that resonate universally: trust, commitment, hope, and the willingness to invest wholeheartedly in another human being. It's fascinating to see how such an announcement can ripple through the world. People everywhere respond not merely out of curiosity, but because it speaks to a shared cultural understanding of what matters most. Across different societies, backgrounds, and experiences, there is a recognition that human connection is essential. Celebrating love, acknowledging partnership, and witnessing the courage to commit to another person inspires reflection in ways that achievement alone often cannot. It reminds us that, no matter how vast our ambitions or how unconventional our paths, the fundamental experiences of the heart remain universally relatable. In today's fast-paced world, where so much attention is given to innovation, success, and productivity, the simple act of affirming love takes on amplified significance. It becomes a statement about priorities, a model for balance, and a demonstration of the timeless importance of relationships. People see that even amidst busy, high-stakes lives, it is possible, and indeed essential, to make space for connection, vulnerability, and shared growth. That visibility matters because it validates the pursuit of what is human, what is enduring, and what ultimately shapes our legacy. Beyond the personal and cultural resonance, there is also a social impact to consider. Stories of commitment, joy, and partnership have the power to encourage others to take bold steps in their own lives. They serve as reminders that meaningful experiences often require courage, intentionality, and trust. When others see a public figure embracing love and personal growth, it can inspire them to reflect on their own relationships, their own decisions, and their own capacity for openness. In that way, a personal milestone becomes a shared lesson, a collective source of inspiration, and a testament to the value of living authentically. There is also a symbolic dimension to consider. Marriage commitment and partnership are acts that bridge generations, connect communities, and uphold traditions while creating new ones. They are markers of continuity, reminding us that the human experience, despite its complexities, has constants that endure through time: love, loyalty, and the willingness to walk forward together. To celebrate such an event publicly is to honor that continuity, while also acknowledging that every individual shapes how those values are interpreted and expressed in their own unique way. At the same time, this is an opportunity to reflect on the role of shared experiences in society. The excitement, the discussion, and the anticipation around this event demonstrate the human desire to participate in moments of significance beyond our immediate lives. It underscores a collective hunger for stories that uplift, that remind us of hope, and that reflect the possibility of connection in a world that can often feel divided. Celebrating these moments together, even from afar, reinforces the idea that our shared humanity is a powerful force, one that transcends fame, fortune, or circumstance. Ultimately, the cultural and social significance of this moment is rooted in its ability to remind us of what truly matters. It is a demonstration that the bravest acts are often those of the heart: to trust, to commit, to open oneself fully to another human being, and to celebrate that commitment openly. It is a testament to the enduring power of love to unite, inspire, and reflect the very best of who we are. So, as this chapter begins, and as the world watches with curiosity, anticipation, and joy, it is a reminder that the most profound milestones are not measured by achievements or accolades, but by the connections we cultivate, the values we uphold, and the courage we show in embracing life's deepest possibilities. In that truth lies a force that transcends everything else, a force that shapes our lives, our communities, and the legacy we leave behind.